Allen, live at 4 p.m., right at 4 p.m. here on this 21st of July, this Tuesday afternoon. 270 weather, covering some of the severe weather, just to get you up to date and let you know what's going on. As expected, we've got this line of thunderstorms that's moving closer to the Bowling Green area. Several warnings that we have out right now. This one is a radar indicated tornado warning for central Grayson County, and it's in effect until 4 p.m., or it will be in effect through 4:30 p.m. for central Grayson County. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Litchfield, moving southeast at 30. Now, again, this is radar indicated rotation, not an actual tornado. I mean, no one has given us any indication that there's an actual tornado there, but you still need to seek shelter as if it was. So this is going to be in the Litchfield area, should be right now, and then other locations that will be in the path of this: St. Paul, Post, Concord, West Clifty, Sadler, Grayson Springs, Black Rock, Clarkson, Tar Heel, and Duff. So take cover. Looks like it is going to affect Millwood, as I mentioned, West Clifty, Grayson Springs, Clarkson. So be careful in Litchfield. There's Litchfield. Let's take a look at exactly what this cell is showing as far as velocity. And you can see that there are winds that are coming in from the north. These are the wind barbs that are coming in, and you've got a flow here coming out of the south and west, and that's creating just a little spin here. And that particular cell is headed south and east. So here is Grayson County. It doesn't take in the eastern part of Grayson County, but it does take in all the way down pretty much to the Butler County line, or the Edmonson County line. And it is moving toward parts of Edmonson County and even Hart County. And then north of that, we have this big severe thunderstorm warning that has shown some signs of radar indicated winds of up to 70 miles per hour. That's in effect until 4:30. That takes in Nelson, Greene, LaRue, Marion, Hart, Taylor, Washington, Boyle, and Hardin counties. Severe thunderstorms kind of congealing together. They were separate, but now they're congealing together. That's moving through Bardstown and Hodgenville and a little bit south of E-Town, moving southeast at 40 miles per hour. Wind gust of up to 70 miles per hour is certainly possible, affecting around 68,000 people, including New Haven, Lebanon, Cecilia, Bradfordsville, Loretto, and I mentioned Hodgenville. But this right here, you can see that the swirl that's going on with the winds coming around like that. There is currently not a tornado warning out for that, but I wouldn't be surprised if one might be issued just because of what I'm seeing there. In fact, as I talk about this, there is now a tornado warning for that area, including the Springfield area right there. New tornado warning. This takes in northwestern Marion and southwestern Washington counties, including the city of Springfield, Kentucky, moving east at 30, radar indicated rotation. People in the path of this storm, affecting about 4,000 people: Springfield, Briartown, St. Catherine, Gandertown, Sisselville and Jimtown. Again, that's a new tornado warning, and you can see why from the velocity scan, and there it is. Look at the winds coming in, moving through Lebanon, and then just kind of wrapping around that rotation. Now, I can tell you that on this side of the storm, this is mostly winds crashing down to the ground, probably damaging winds of over 70 miles per hour just west of Lebanon. So if you're west of Lebanon, you're getting hammered by destructive winds. And you see all the lightning that's going on with this system, and even up toward Springfield, where the tornado warning is. It's a very electrical storm. And there are more of these that are coming this way. So this is what we're watching this afternoon. I mean, you can go on up toward Danville and Winchester and Lexington. There's E-Town. And now we just have a cluster of problems here. Flash flood warnings. This is another thing that I talked about today and last night in the podcast, but this morning on News 40, that we would also have to watch the impact of flooding. This flash flood warning affecting almost 147,000 people in E-Town, Litchfield, Rhineyville, Radcliffe, Vine Grove, and Hardinsburg. And it's in effect, this flash flood warning, until 7 Central, 8 Eastern time for those areas. This tornado warning expires in 24 minutes, but it's radar indicated, not being seen by any verification of anybody, spotter or whoever. This is all radar indicated rotation. That was near Litchfield, but now it's moving a little east of that, southeast of that area. And so these cells all have a capability of rotation. This is like a supercell moving through Litchfield. You can see the winds kind of coming around and rotating around that area. It is moving off to the south and east, but it looks like from this vantage point that it could be more of a damaging wind threat here. Maybe some of those winds hitting the ground pretty hard there in Litchfield and Clarkson. In fact, we have a camera there. Let's go to the camera and see what we can see in Litchfield. Wow. Okay, lots of lightning. You guys are seeing this, right? Yeah. It's a blinding rain, torrential, blinding rain in Litchfield that's going on right now. 82 degrees, winds are pretty stout. And you can see from this vantage point, this is Litchfield, Kentucky, almost rapid fire lightning that's going on, and just a blinding torrential rain. I would say from what I see on the radar, what you're getting there in Litchfield is certainly, as you can see, that big red area there, that's the inbound winds. According to, this is the Louisville radar that we're looking at from that vantage point. But look at all the lightning strikes showing up here, and you can see them. Occasionally you can see the flash from the Litchfield camera. Yeah, it's, wow. That's a pretty impressive cell that's going on there. Ooh, big lightning there. Let me come back to that. Let me go to the Hopkinsville radar and see if I can get, I'm looking at another cell down there toward, I think it was Hartford. But let's look at this. Put the camera back up here where you can see it. So there's Litchfield, definitely a cell that has the classic signs of rotation, as you can see. And the tornado warning has been lifted, but I mean, Litchfield is just getting really, really hammered right now with just some incredible rainfall, incredible lightning, and the winds coming down to the ground. Clarkson, you're right there, just northeast of Litchfield. But this is a very heavy thunderstorm with lots of wind, lots of rain, a blinding downpour, torrential rains that's going to cause flash flooding the way it's doing right now. So yes, we're going to watch this very closely. Let's go back. You just saw the update right there. Now we're still getting and then now we're seeing a new indication of rotation right there. Flash flood warning now going into the Litchfield, just south of the Litchfield area. And now we're getting a tornado ID on this. What does that mean? As you can see, the rotation going on right here, just southeast of Litchfield. And this is all moving southeast. And there's the latest scan. This is from a different vantage point. You can see the green and the reds, inbound, outbound winds going down into that rotation. There's definitely rotation, but at this point, possibly not reaching the ground. The only problem is when you're out there looking at, that's the live view from Litchfield at 4:11. Whoa, big lightning, 4:11 p.m. You're not going to see a tornado. It's most likely rain wrapped in this case. See if I could get a closer look on this one. All right. So this, with the greens meeting up with the reds and this indication here that there might be something like a tornado, looks like it's going to go south of Grayson Springs. It's all moving kind of in a southeast fashion. So if you're in Peonia or Skagstown, and now we're starting to get maybe close to Nolan Lake with this rotation. It could be a rain-wrapped tornado, but it's hard to see. So even if anybody's on the ground, they're not going to be able to see it. And now that red indicates that the Litchfield camera is down, probably most likely due to lightning, because that lightning has been just incredible. Look at the flow out of this thing. You're talking some major winds coming down to the ground, possibly up to 70 miles per hour. Now, the tornado warning has been lifted for Litchfield and Grayson County, but this one is one to watch. Okay, we'll keep watching that. Now it's more about flooding. And I thought I saw, right here, the possibility of seeing maybe a little, looks like maybe something's trying to get going right there around Cromwell. Little bit of rotation going on there. But look at the winds. They're more coming out of the west, southwest. But there's some definite rotation going on there. That would be in parts of southeastern Ohio County and the line here and the river as you go from Cromwell into Butler County. So Butler County, you may be next in line. This continues to look a little more healthy. Now, big picture, And I haven't had a chance to see anybody's comments at this point, but thanks for being with me. The comments I'll get to, but I won't be able to ask or answer any questions. So if you have questions about, when it's going to be here, when it's going to be there, I can't do that. So I'm doing this for anybody that is wanting to keep up with this. Of course, it's all thanks to the resources I have. And of course, News 40 and Scott and Micah are back at the station watching things progress. And we're getting closer now to these storms moving in toward Bowling Green. And we haven't had anything yet, but it looks like something's trying to get going down here south of Bowling Green. Now, the thing is that I want you to understand that these storms, when you see that rotation marker, that doesn't mean it's a tornado. It just means that the storms are rotating. And if you watched me last night doing the podcast or this morning on News 40, I mentioned that any of these storms could begin to rotate just because of the nature of how these storms are behaving. That's what I like to call it. We go to the Nashville radar and get a different perspective on some of these. It looks like there's something getting ready to go here from Blue Level, south of Bowling Green, Blue Level down toward Plano. I am here at the Bowling Green Airport. So that's my location. So just southwest of me and southwest of town, looks like a good healthy storm is getting going there with some brief moderate to heavy rain embedded in that particular cell. Let me go to just the composite to take a look here. Yeah, I'll put this into motion. The composite doesn't really give you the high definition that the Doppler radars do. So I don't like how that looks. But with this, you're going to get kind of a grainy look if you zoom in real tight. So that's why it looks that way. Now this is looking fairly healthy from just south of Central City, Muhlenberg County, and Greenville. And as you go south into South Muhlenberg County, that's some very heavy rain. The lightning is beginning to tick up a little bit more as well. Let's explore the velocities. And here we go. Back up north. Well, the Cromwell area looks like that rotation that was indicated right here has now become a very broad rotation. It's pretty large. When you see it like this, the green and the red together, but spread out, there's broad rotation, but there's not tight rotation. We start raising the red flags if we start to see really tight gate to gate shear or rotation going on, but this is not very tight at all. So that's a little bit of good news with that cell in southern Ohio County and right on the border of Butler County, kind of north of Morgantown. But this over here is still looking pretty pretty stout. Okay. Two perspectives here. This is velocity, and then this is storm relative velocity. And what it does is it looks at what's coming in inbound, what's going outbound, and it gives you different perspective with the color palettes as to help better define, is there rotation to cause a tornado? Right now, any kind of rotation marker has been lifted from that. But I can tell you just southeast of Litchfield, well, that's some rough rough winds that are going on there from Clarkson, just south of Litchfield. And then this area right in here is another broad rotation. Now, as soon, the thing we watch for is the really bright greens up against the really bright red. And if we get those together, we can, with some assurance say that there's some rotation going on within that storm. And as you can see, the winds coming in and out of this storm, that's probably some really, really strong winds hitting the ground. And it's possible that some of those winds are 60 to 70 miles per hour. The tornado warning has been lifted, and here's another thing to look at that I always look at in these kind of situations is look at all the lightning clustering up here. South of Litchfield, over to Millerstown, and say the Snap community, Wax. Now you're getting over toward Nolin River Lake. There it is. Mutadeer. Yeah, all of these locations, this is definitely something worth watching because it could try to spin up something else. And there's the new radar scan. And it looks about the same. But in the Snap community, right there, Snap. This is just north of Nolin River Lake. Here it is down here. So only a few miles. So if you're in the Nolin River Lake area and you're along, say, 259 in that general area, this is, now it's a new tornado warning. And so this verified. So here we go. Just exactly what I was talking about. So the Weather Service is seeing exactly what I just saw. That could be a tornado. It is radar indicated. As I just showed you, that's why they've issued the warning. So this warning, tornado warning, central Hart County, southeastern Grayson, and northeastern Edmondson until 5 p.m. So they're saying that severe thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado 9 miles southeast of Litchfield, moving southeast at 30. The communities included in the path, Rock Creek, Wabash, Bonneville, Cub Run. So now we're getting into Hart County with this warning. Logsdon Valley, Lines Mill, Broadford, Peonia, Pierman, and Snap. Right? That's exactly where we were looking before the warning came out. And there are your communities. Lone Oak, Snap is in there, Spike, Winesap, Bonneville, 12,500 people affected by this particular possible tornado. But that one looks quite healthy and looks like it could become, or if it's not already, it may be a tornado just based on everything that we're looking at right here. It certainly has the gate to gate shear there. So that right now is the only tornado warning that's going on in the 270. The rest of what you see on the screen is severe thunderstorm warnings and flash flood warnings, like up toward E-Town. Heavy rains there causing that. And then you go up toward Breckenridge County and those areas where they've received, now they're just getting a lot of heavy rain back behind all of this. And as you can see, all of this continues to move off to the south and east. And we're continuing to see development even back to the west. Now, these storms that you see here around Paducah, let's take a look at Gage, Kentucky, that camera. Well, things don't look that bad. There are storms over there, but this is live, Gage, Kentucky, far western Kentucky. Around the camera, there's a little bit of rain, but nothing serious. Certainly no warnings going on back here, but even these are trying to form a line, and it looks like this line will connect to that line. Eventually, that's what happens. Everything becomes what we call linear or in a line. And when that happens, it just congeals into a big area of heavy rain. On the leading edge of that line, there is certainly the possibility of getting some of the worst of the wind damage, maybe a spin up tornado. No confirmed tornadoes out of any of this that's going on right now. Let me go change radars here. Let's go to the Hopkinsville radar and see what it's showing. So even this is a different perspective. This is from the Hopkinsville radar. So if you've watched me, you've heard me talk about how the radar beams go up from their location. So the one in Hopkinsville, Fort Campbell, goes up, the beam goes up, but the earth is curved. Okay. The earth is curved. So what happens is the beam, depending on how far away it is, can overshoot some of what it's seeing in the storm. So from that perspective, it may be seeing the rotation a little bit higher, but there's still, even then, right there, there's rotation. So that's why the Weather Service issued that tornado warning. Now, if it's there, it's really wrapped in a lot of rain. I mean, look at that. There is a lot of rain, and look at all the lightning strikes. I mean, lightning, almost continuous lightning going on in those areas. So therefore, the reason why there is, and look at that. I mean, this is looking, again, pretty healthy. That green against the red. There is circulation there for sure. Yeah, it stands out. It stands out pretty well. Now I'll go back to the Nashville radar. Let me get down here and go to Nashville. I need to have this set up where I don't have to do this because that's a little distracting. Okay, so now the Nashville radar is now putting the little rotation tag. Ooh, there's an update. Look at that. Now, if there's a tornado here, no one has said that there's a tornado, but looking at this, it would surprise me if there's not a tornado. This is not only rotation, but you've got damaging winds coming through the Wax community. Nolan River Lake right now is getting hammered from the Snap community down to Wax. I would say probably Pig is in there. Well, Pig is over here, I think. I'm just trying to remember my little communities here. But this, wow. And Linwood is involved in this. So we're looking at Grayson County going into Edmonson County. Look at that rotation right there. The winds coming in and coming back out. This is going to be the flow. It's almost like a small low pressure system is what this is. Yeah. Again, the tornado warning until 5 p.m. for about another 30 minutes. Central Hart, southeastern Grayson, and northeastern Edmonson counties. And the way this looks like there could be now some of this is pretty broad as far as the rotation, but I will tell you that if there is indeed a tornado, most likely you're not going to be able to see it. It's going to be wrapped in rain. I mean, really wrapped in rain. Heavy, heavy rain. So if you're anywhere in the vicinity of Nolan River Lake, the Nolan River, which is right here, moving through, this is on the border of Grayson into Edmonson. This is Edmonson. Big Windies down here. Or I'm sorry, Edmonson's over here. This would be Hart. This would be Hart County right here. Okay. Sorry. I just want to make sure you know where you are. So this is the Hart County line right up through here. Because you've got over here Lone Star, Bonnieville, Munfordville's way, way down here. All right. So tornado warning, again, coming out of southeastern Grayson County, going into Hart County, based on the direction that this is moving. And there it is. I don't know if you guys are seeing anything out there, but just be careful, okay? Be careful. Here is Joni Peterson. Sirens just went off here in Hart County, Munfordville. Yeah, I would say that's because of the warning, tornado warning. I'm just quickly going through some of your comments because you may, like that one from Joni, you may have something to report, and I want to get it on here if I can. Let me switch sources. And here we are. Again, this is the same cell. I'm just using a different source. And you can see from that source, we've got the rotation that's going on and all that lightning. Wow. Now this is showing more of the roads, and I kind of like this. I need the cities to pop up, but I haven't gotten them in there. But it looks like if there is a tornado, it's going to be right there along Kentucky 88, right in here, and 728. And again, that's going to be right on the Nolan River and Nolan Lake area. Right there. Now, let me see here. Let me try this. No. Okay. There is a spotter out there, Storm Chaser, but he is not broadcasting at the moment. Now we're starting to see some of the roads. Yeah, there's the tornado warning. Nolan Lake back here. So it's east of Nolan Lake, but it's along 88, Big Windy Road, down to 728, which is Cub Run Highway. So if you're in Cub Run, I would certainly be on the watch for this possible rain-wrapped tornado. Let me see if I can get... Here's Faye. I can hear sirens where I live in Hart County. Thank you. Brad, that's Cub Run area. Yep, you're right. Right there. Tim Skees, who is part of Skywarn, it's, National Weather Service, people that go to the National Weather Service, take a course, and learn how to spot tornadoes. He says Edmondson Skywarn standing by, nothing observed yet in central Edmondson. Thank you, Tim. Kim, lightning and rain in Munfordville, no wind at all. Okay, thank you. Rain, Penny says rain and thunder in Round Hill. All right. Now again, I cannot. There's too much going on that I cannot go in and answer all of the when will it hit my town questions. Okay, I need reports. Carolyn, heavy rain at Wax and a lot of wind. Verification right there. Doesn't mean there was a tornado, but wind and rain, exactly what we said would be coming. And now here is an updated tornado warning. Something new. Okay, let's get to it. So this is this the same one? It looks like it's a new one. Yeah, it takes in Munfordville. Tornado warning. Okay, it's an update. Tornado warning remains in effect until 5 p.m. So we've got another 20 minutes or so for Western Hart and Southeastern Grayson counties. Radar confirmed tornado, but it's hard to be observed. Wait a minute. Let me see here. This is an update. Let me make sure I'm reading the right. Okay. Confirmed. Okay. Confirmed tornado located 9 miles west of Munfordville, moving southeast at 30. So this is now, that's the update. This is now a confirmed tornado that's on the ground, now moving across Kentucky 88 in the Cub Run community. And as it's moving off to the southeast at 30 miles per hour, it looks like it may be headed for Munfordville. And there it is. So Munfordville, I mean, it's not moving all that fast, but it's moving fast enough. You think 30 miles per hour, it'll be here, or it'll be there in Munfordville. I mean, it's only 8 miles, maybe 9 from you. So if you're in Munfordville, seek shelter right now. This is what is confirmed now, a rain-wrapped tornado. And this is the kind that can really cause some problems, because you're not going to be able to see this. You're not going to be able to look outside and see a perfect funnel coming down. This is going to be wrapped in a lot of rain. There's no visibility with this particular cell. Let me go back to the other source that I had up here, and it's still showing the rotation going on here with the tag. The confidence, by the way, that this is a tornado, besides the Weather Service saying it's a confirmed tornado, the confidence in this being a tornado is almost at 82%, just based on the algorithms and what the radar is seeing, the gate-to-gate shear, the inbound, outbound winds that are going around the circulation. So again, this is, now it looks like it's maybe close to Macon, Winesap, Kaysinger, and it's headed for Munfordville. It's headed for more in the way of, so as you go out 70, part of 70 is going to be affected by that. Let me go to the other source with the mapping on it. So as you come out of Munfordville, you go, so it'd be 88, not 70, I'm sorry, 88. So you come out of Munfordville and you go out 88. Casinger is in this vicinity right in here. And you can see once you get up there, just past Munfordville, you get toward Casinger and you can see for a long distance. The problem is this storm is wrapped in a ton, look at all that, in a ton of rain. A ton of rain. So that's the problem. It's embedded within the rain. Here's a chaser. Let's see if we can get a live report. Edgar O'Neill. Okay. So he's going down 65 and he's headed for Munfordville. I want to make sure that you guys can see some of this on the screen. Oops, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I didn't change my, okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Okay, there we are. Now you guys can see. So he's having, obviously some internet issues, but you can see what he's going down 65 south, headed toward Munfordville. This is chaser Edgar O'Neill. I don't know Edgar, but he's trying to get to Munfordville before maybe the circuit. And you see, look at the rain. Look at how heavy the rain is on Interstate 65 as you're going south toward. And now he's getting off exit 65, which is Munfordville exit. There it is. Tim, severe warning for Edmondson with Tor possible tag and Edmondson Butler. Yep. Watching that too. Thank you, Tim. So here is Edgar getting off 65, Munfordville exit. He will most likely, if he's going to take 88, then he needs to go left into town, but he's going right. Okay. He's going right, like you can go up to Nolan Lake. Well, nope, he's going left. He got in the right lane, but he is going left. I'm thinking, okay, Edgar, you need to go left because you need to go through Munfordville. This is 31W, and there's 65. You need to go south, and then coming up here, you can make a right turn almost at the square, and that's 88 to get on 88 and go out toward where that circulation is. There's the Dairy Queen, that side. Right-hand side is the McDonald's. Now, all right. We'll keep watching this, but now we have an observed, the purple here means an observed tornado in Hart County, headed for Munfordville, observed. I'll read you the latest information. Take cover now. This is a particularly dangerous situation. PDS, tornado, confirmed tornado, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado located near Munfordville, moving southeast at 30. Damaging tornado has been observed. Should be in Munfordville around 4:45. So only in a couple of minutes. So if you're in Munfordville, I hope that you're taking cover right now. Let me go back to, and yes, wow. There is no mistake that is a large rain-wrapped tornado. And Edgar here looks like he's headed right for it. Well, he's going down 31W. He's coming up on the square in Munfordville. You can see the intense lightning, the very heavy rain. Now, as a chaser, Edgar knows what to do. But this is now turned into a confirmed tornado headed straight for Munfordville. I really hope you all are in a shelter, watching safely, lowest level in your home. Get in a bathroom or a closet in the centermost, lowest level in your home. Now, I think he passed the turnoff there for 88. Now he's about to cross over the bridge. So 88 is back. He just passed it. So I don't know where he may be going. He may be going a little further south so he can get on the underside or the flank. He may be trying to flank the tornado, but this is a big, big rain-wrapped tornado that is headed for Munfordville. No kidding. Observed. Confirmed. All right. So now he's crossed the river and he's on 31W. And now we've got another new confirmed tornado warning. Let me show you. Sorry. I can't move the map with that pin on. Okay. So now they've extended the tornado warning to also include now southeastern Hart County, northeastern Barron, and northwestern Metcalfe, and west central Greene County until 5:30. So this is an extension of the confirmed tornado that's now about to hit Munfordville. So I see what he's doing now. Edgar is posted up there on 31W looking. Now he's looking at the high school. That's Hart County High right there. He is looking southwest, but the storm is actually, he's back on 31W now. He's headed south on 31W. He may have thought it too dangerous to turn on 88 and go directly into the circulation. But yeah, you're right. That would not be a good deal. That would be dangerous. So you can see where he is. He keeps losing internet though. There we go. Okay. Again, a new confirmed particularly dangerous situation confirmed. Tornado about to strike Munfordville. Rain-wrapped tornado. Rain-wrapped. You're not going to see it. I have not heard any reports of damage, but I would think that that there's going to be some damage. Here is Robbie. Sirens going off in Glasgow. Yep, that's because part of Barron County is now under this confirmed tornado warning. So it's been extended further south and west of Hart County and Munfordville. Todd, sirens going off in Temple Hill. All of you should seek shelter. If you're in Barron County, seek shelter now. This is a confirmed tornado, wrapped in a lot of rain. Karen, Park City sirens going off. Yep. If you're anywhere south of Munfordville or east of Munfordville, you need to be seeking shelter right now. I mean, this is an incredible situation here. So he's continuing to go south 31W, and he is now toward the Caveland Country Club. He's in Rowletts. Yeah, Rowletts is right there. There's 31W. And the leading edge of this circulation is moving in really close to where he is, where Edgar is. Caveland Country Club is just down the road here. Rowletts, that's the community of Rowletts right there. South Dixie Highway, that's 31W. He continues to go down that direction. The worst, though, of the circulation is now just west of Munfordville, coming across 88, and will soon cross over Interstate 65 as it passes west of Munfordville. So I think he's really trying hard to get out of the way, because this looks like an unusually large circulation. So he's pulling off now. And there's the railroad tracks just south of Rowletts. Oh, wow. Now, he is just pulled off there near, what is that, Hardy Valley Road? I think this is where, close to the fairgrounds, he might be. Okay, he's trying to get set up in a place where he can, he's trying to get his camera positioned. Okay, so he is looking back. This is 31W. He is looking back toward Munfordville now. And you can see the clouds and the way it looks. Wow. This, wow, look at that. Now, is that the tornado? Don't know. But it certainly looks like it is part of the circulation that is now coming through Munfordville. Wow. Lightning. Oh. And there it is. There it is. Look at this. That, my friends, is the tornado right there. See the circulation. This is live at 4:52. Look at that circulation right there. Edgar has captured. This is the tornado. Look at that. And here's the thing. He did a really good job staying safe to get to the south side of the circulation, but that is what he's looking at. Look at the lightning. Pow, pow. That is a huge circulation wrapped in rain. You're not going to see the perfect funnel, but I can tell just by the circulation and how everything is just, look at that. Everything is just rotating around the main core, the vortex. Wow. Oh, I hope everybody has taken shelter, because what we're looking at is pretty astounding. Again, right in front of you is 31W. And there is the apparent tornado. It is moving across and just south of Munfordville. It has already passed 31W. So now that circulation, and this may be just a little bit behind, But that circulation is now headed for Lone Oak. Lone Oak. Kentucky 571 is in the path of this apparent tornado. Tommy Tom's Road over to 571, which is Lone Oak Road. I hope that if you're in the Lone Oak area or Tommy Tom's Road off of 31W, you are seeking shelter. And there's the update of the rotation. And it's getting closer now. Also in the path, those of you that are on the South Jackson Highway, that's 31E. It's headed for you. It's headed for you. South Jackson Highway, 31E. We're looking from 31W, and it looks like he's going to make a move to try to go down that direction. He can take 571 if he is thinking about going that way. And then you get up toward Rex and Bunnell Crossing and those roadways. And now that apparent tornado is headed toward 31E instead of 31W. So you're going to be looking at Little Blue Springs Road and 572. And then you're going to talk about maybe going toward Lee Grand. Hardeeville, you're north of the circulation. Looks like he lost his internet. But Hardeeville, it is that main circulation is north, or you're east, northeast of the main circulation, which is now rolling through Munfordville. But this is a rather large, again, circulation. I mean, this whole thing right here is the apparent tornado that's been sighted. And Edgar's, I guess he's lost his internet connection, which is understandable because, I mean, you're out there and he's in between. He's away from the interstate. He's on 31W trying to track this thing. But I would say if you're in Hardeeville, yeah, he's making a move now. See, when this is the chaser symbol, when this turns from blue to white, he's lost signal. But he's moving. I know he's moving because the arrow is pointing in the direction that he's moving. So he's trying to get over to 31E. This is north of Horse Cave. And now a new update on that tornado warning in effect until 5:30. Observed tornado again. Let's make that clear. It's an observed rain-wrapped tornado. Let's see. The tornado will be near Three Springs. I just mentioned that. Three Springs around 5:05 p.m. So if you're in the Three Springs community, I hope you take shelter right now and take this seriously. Other towns in the path. We're pretty much past Litchfield, of course, but there's that community called Litchfield Crossing. Yep. Rowletts, that's where he was. Then you got Logston Valley, Donensburg, Monroe, Wickerville, Mount Beulah, Savoyard, Heistville, and Park. So now Heistville. And that's taking in the 31E side of this tornado. So there he is. Now he's got his signal back. He's trying to look and see if he can see that rotation again. He is on 31W still. Cedar Cliff Church Road area, East Julius Mills Road, if you're familiar with those areas. Like Cedar Cliff Church Road is actually old 31W, but it dead ends. So Tommy Tom's Road is right up the road, and that's the direction he's looking in. Tommy Tom's Road off of 31W. And that connects over to Lone Oak Road, which is 571. And what you're seeing here is looks like an extension of the rotation. The rotation is now off over the horizon, so you're not going to see the tornado. But this entire storm is rotating. It's a really, really large rotation, and apparently the tornado is rather large as well. And that circulation is now headed for, and there's, I guess Edgar is out there. So we see what he looks like. He's, I guess, looking around, taking pictures or video. But that circulation is now headed for Lone Oak Road and what some call 31E South Jackson Highway. But he's going back down now, 31W, and he's going toward Horse Cave at this point. And you know, when you get down here, it kind of makes a big curve, and the railroad track is right next to it. How do I know all this? I'm not from Munfordville, but as you guys know, I travel these roads all the time. This is why I do a lot of back roads. I do a lot of highways. I know where these roads are. I know where things are. I've lived here for 40 years. I know where these things are. So I know exactly where he is. And I know there's the railroad track on the right-hand side right there. And that curve is coming up here where you kind of curve off, and then you're going to go into Horse Cave. Now, is Horse Cave threatened by this? You're on the outer edge, maybe, of the big circulation. You're close. You're close. But I'm more concerned about 31E, South Jackson Highway, Lee Grand Highway, which is 218. When you get into Cave City, that's 218. You take it out and you can go toward Lee Grand School. 571 is Lone Oak Road, and then you've got 572, which is in there. So this is as you go out from Cave City. So I don't know if he's trying to position. Yeah, he's trying to look back there toward that circulation. And there he is on the highway so that you can see what he's doing. So if you're anywhere, Horse Cave, Lee Grand community, and he's lost his signal again, but he'll get it back. If you're on Shortcut Road, which he's now taking Shortcut Road, it looks like. He's come off of 31W. Just before you get to Horse Cave is that Shortcut Road that connects 31W down to Main Street in Horse Cave. So that's what he's doing. And now, okay, now I need to, we'll hook back up with him later. But now we have a new tornado warning. I'll come back to that one. But now we have a new tornado warning that's out for, it looks like northeastern Logan, southwestern Butler until 5:30. Northeastern Logan and southwestern Butler. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Dunmore, moving east at 25. So if you're in Dunmore, or if you're in the communities of Dimple, Leetown, Davis Crossroads, Harper Crossroads, Buffalo Fort, Anderson, Costello, Gasper, Silver City, and Haroldsville, take shelter now. You cannot assume that this is not a tornado. It's radar indicated, yes, but it could very well become or is a tornado. Has just not been observed yet. So there's Dunmore. It's already past you, okay? Looks like it's going, there it is. If it's happening, it's going to be right here in this particular area. along Highway 106, just west of Kentucky 79. And to help you find your bearings here, 106 is one of those roads that connects over to Lewisburg, which, I'm sorry, I got to get that pen. I keep getting it where I can't get loose of it. There's Lewisburg. Here's 431. 431 North in Logan County. 106 connects to Lewisburg, and that is where that potential tornado is located. This does have a hook on it. This has you can see it right there. Little hook, echo. So the winds here are rotating around, and this is what we call the inflow notch. This is where drier air is being sucked in to the rotation. If there's a tornado there, it's being fed plenty of moisture, and that's why we're seeing that tornado warning. Again, there's the velocity scan, and you can see right in there where that potential rotation or potential tornado is. Different view with different color scan here. Yeah. All right. So this is what we're watching. Potential tornado, again, along Highway 106. And this is going to be in parts of Logan and Butler County. So this is 79 south. 79 goes all the way up to Morgantown, but it comes all the way back down and goes to Russellville. So we're in there's the Butler Logan County line. Davis Crossroads is in here somewhere, I believe. Berry's Lick, 626. Let's see here. Old Greenville Road is in there, 2377. Anderson Store Road. Quality. Yeah, of course. Quality is in there. The Huntsville Quality Road area is 106 as it comes down and connects into Lewisburg. So this potential tornado is only, this is inbound, outbound winds. They're not really strong in that particular area. No. Okay. I'm doing a little searching here to see what I can see. So, Dallum Creek Road, which is 3201, Kentucky 3201, the Quality Road area, and Anderson Store Road. In this particular area is where that potential tornado is. And there you can see the bright greens and the bright reds, inbound, outbound. That's what we call a couplet right in there. All right, there's an update. It's still there, but it's moved a little further south and east. It's coming toward 79. So it's the potential tornado here is moving from 106 down toward 79. Southern Butler County into Logan County. All right. So is it going to hit Bowling Green? I know some of you are asking me that. Well, you can see the direction that this is moving in. We're just now getting some rain in Bowling Green. Here at the airport, I just had a shower. Just did have a shower. Right there. That's where I am. I live right next to the Bowling Green, Warren County Regional Airport. So we just had a shower here. but I don't see anything around Bowling Green that's raising a red flag. It's this cell that's moving out of southern Butler County and clipping the northeastern corner of Logan County along Kentucky 79 and 106. That is the one that is the possible tornado. All right, until we get another report on that one, let's go back up here to this one, which was confirmed. And look, it's still, wow, this thing is still throwing down some nasty stuff. Here is Edgar. He's got his signal back. Now I know, and I've said, if you're a regular on my podcast, I say all the time, and I said it last night, I normally don't do play-by-play in these kind of situations unless I'm at the TV station and we're covering these sort of things. And Scott and Micah's doing that right now on TV. So I'm handling the internet side of this and the social media side of this as best I can to do total coverage here. But look at the rain. This is with that confirmed. Wow. All right. Now look at the trees here. And that's why he stopped. Look at this. Yeah, there's cars with flashers on. Look at the wind here. What road is he on? He is on Lee Grand Highway. He's on 218. He is right now on 218, and the circulation is just north of him. And he's going east. You're watching this live. This is live at 5:11 p.m. Chris Allen, 270 Weather, News 40. We're covering this, what has been confirmed, a rather large rain-wrapped tornado that's now moving across Hart County, southeast of Munfordville toward Lee Grand. So he is on 218 right now, going east. And he will be coming up soon to Little Blue Springs Road. All right, he just passed 571? Yep, he just passed 571. He's coming up on Chris Wilson Road. That's a dead end as you come up around the curve. Now, he's getting awful close to where the core of the circulation is. Lee Grand Highway, 218. I mean, the rain is just blinding, torrential. And if you listened to me at all last night or today on News 40, I said torrential rain is going to be a big, big factor. Tornado was actually on the low end of the scale. So you may be saying, well, you said it was going to be on the low end of the scale, so why are we getting a tornado? Well, I said that there could be. With a 2% to 5% chance, the chance is not zero. Now, if I said, no, there's not going to be any tornadoes, and then this happens, then I would have the proverbial egg all over my face. And I would hang my head in shame. But I did tell you that there could be a tornado. For those of you that don't watch me on TV and you're just joining me, this is a potential tornado. So look at this. I saw debris on the road. It looked like insulation. Did you guys see that? I saw it. So now he's on 571. He's on Seymour Park Road. So he's headed for Heistville and Park. You go down 571. Wow, the lightning. Ooh, the lightning. Pretty incredible. He is on going Seymour to Park over to Heistville. I think he's going to head over toward Heistville at this point. This is the road you take, 571. And he is continuing to go. He kind of occasionally loses the signal. Wow. I am just, really, I'm just, my mind is blown at the scope and the breadth of this circulation. Wow. Look at that light. Whew. Now, look at that. Look at that right there. This is a stop picture because he's lost internet, but you could see what looked like part of the circulation. He's kind of going, and it's good that he's going south of the main circulation, which is right in here, which is going to be Lee Grand Highway. He got off of that and over towards 677. But I think he's trying to head over toward Heistville to get ahead of this. So he's not going to be right in the middle of what's going on. Again, this is Storm Chaser Edgar O'Neill. You're watching his camera live. I think that's the sign that talks about Park and that Louis B. Nunn, that's where Louis B. Nunn is from, former governor, Park, Kentucky. And there is the little house, used to be I think a post office. It still says Park, Kentucky on the top of it. You guys know what I'm talking about. So he is turning on Iron Mountain Road or Heistville Park Road, 740. He's getting on 740 and he may go that direction. Let's see where he goes from here. Golly, that lightning is just whew, something else. A very, very electrical. Wow, that was close. That was close. I wonder if he has audio. He does have audio.
What in the Dixie's going on?
All right, let me see if I can get it on for you here. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why I haven't turned it on before now, but okay, here's an update on the tornado warning. Now it's radar indicated. And southwestern Greene, southeastern Hart, northeastern Barron, and northwestern Metcalfe counties. New tornado warning.
Got it.
This is going to go until 5:30. Until 5:30.
Apparently I'm going to Bat Cave.
Okay. He is now, looks like he is now on the Savoyard Park Road, which is still 571, isn't it? I'm not sure if that is. I believe it is. Okay. But he's going south, and look at that. Wow. Lee Grand is right in here. 218, 677, which is Three Springs Road, not the one in Bowling Green, but up in Lee Grand. And then center. You're going to be close. He's going to be close to center Kentucky, where a lot of these roads meet. Wow. I mean, I'm surprised that we're not seeing like trees in the road. But look at all that lightning. Okay, there's Heistville. So he is already now northeast of Heistville. Heistville, you're okay. If you're in Heistville, you're not in that circulation. Further north and east.
Wish I could say I could see something, but I can't.
let me. Okay. So looks like we've lost. It comes and goes. Okay. Can you guys hear me now? I thought I could type in his audio and you could still hear my audio, but I don't want that to be confusing. So if you're in Facebook or YouTube, let me know that you can hear my audio now. Okay. I want to make sure all this works. I thought I could get him. His audio is still on and too loud. I can fix that. Like that. How about that? I can hear. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Gail, I can hear you. Great. All right. I had to make that one adjustment. So I won't do that. That's a little too much. Okay. So now Edgar is on Savoyard Park Road, headed for 314, which is Highsville Center Road, which meets right here. And he is close to that circulation, which is now crossing over Iron Mountain Road and Roberts Road. So that's Kentucky 677. As you go east of Highsville over towards Center. And this is also affecting Center, Three Springs Road. Wow, the lightning, which is 1243. Crail Hope is in there somewhere. Didn't I see it? Atwell Road. There's Crail Hope right in there. Crail Hope Road, anyway. The lightning is just, it's just, wow. Now, it looks like this could all be headed towards Sulphur Well. And so if you're in Sulphur Well, you should be seeking shelter down there. He's just crossed over Highsville Center Road. Now he's on the Radcliffe Mitchell Road, and he's going east, southeast. And this will end up at 1243, which is Pleasant Valley Church Road. And that's where the circulation is continuing to move. And it's still a big, big, big circulation. It doesn't necessarily mean it's that tornado. It's a tornado that's that big, but it certainly is a big storm with a ton of rain and lightning. And most likely damaging wind. So I haven't seen hail on his windshield. That doesn't mean there's not hail. But this continues to be a tornado warning, which now is taking in southwestern Greene, southeastern Hart, central Metcalfe County, and southwestern Adair until 6 p.m. Current time is 5:23. So now we have an extension of this tornado warning. And this is mostly radar indicated in those areas that I just showed you. So taking in communities like Pickett, Portland, not Tennessee, but Portland community in Kentucky, Little Barron, Node, Bliss, Fry, Wickerville, Knob Lick, Eggsy, that would be on 68, and Savoyard. So if you're in those areas, take shelter because that potential tornado is headed your way. And now, those of you that live along or near Highway 70 east of Hiceville, and then it meets up with 68. You know, they're doing some construction. This would be north of Edmonton, right there, and over where Sulphur Well, right in here, the Lighthouse Restaurant in that vicinity, and then they're building a new bypass there, or a new section of the road. You go up 68, and it continues on to the north like you're going to go to Greensburg. This is where that potential tornado is going to be passing over very soon. Wow, the lightning is it's amazing. And it's almost continuous. Wow. So I keep getting new updates and my phone is just blowing up. Now a flood advisory for Metcalf and Barron, of course, Adair, Metcalf, all until 8:30 because of just 2 to 3 inches of rain within an hour. I mean, that's heavy, heavy rain, as you're seeing it right there from Edgar's live camera. So it looks like, yeah, he's still trying to capture that rotation, which is right there, but it's wrapped in rain. And what you're seeing here is just rain shafts. I mean, and maybe some hail too. There may be some hail in there. He is right now going down Pleasant, what is that? Pleasant Valley Church Road, 1243. Look at that blowing across the road. Look at that. He may be a little too close, because what I'm seeing, this is where the potential tornado is sitting right now. Glenfin Road, Pleasant Valley Church Road, and Ratcliffe Mitchell Road. Oh, looks like a piece of tin that's come off a roof, maybe a barn. Oh, look at that. There's some damage, and there's a tree in the road. So there's a tree that's down on Pleasant Valley Church Road. That's 1243, right where he is. Now, was that a tornado? Don't know. But definitely, as you can see, even the winds going through there right now is enough to cause down trees. Of course, he's not going to be able to get across there. Now, wait a minute. Yeah, wow. That's some debris there. And it looks like some of those trees, often the trees that are back here behind the down tree, these trees back here, look like some of those have been snapped off. So that is certainly not good. And that tornado circulation, it may be now past him. It may be a little further east of him. He's looking south, but the tornado would be going further east and southeast of this location. But there's debris all here in the field and the fence line with the tree down. He's not going to be able to go through there. Wow. Aaron says, I saw the tree fall on the video. Well, you caught it before. I didn't see it happen, but apparently it just happened when he pulled up. So Stacy Sharp, it blew up a few barns on Lone Oak Road in Hart County. So there's going to be debris from this apparent tornado. Again, this is going to be a situation where you cannot see a funnel. You might be able to see some rotation like we looked at earlier when he was on 31W over toward Rowlett's. But if there's a tornado, it is wrapped in rain and you're not going to be able to see it. So don't even think, please, do not even think about getting out there. If somebody lives close to this area, you know, Pleasant Valley Church Road, 1243, where he is, right there. Looks like McCandless Canmer Road. So this goes down to Canmer. Yeah. If you live in this area, wait till this storm passes. I know somebody's already thinking I'm going to get my chainsaw out and move that tree, but that's a big tree. Wow. That's where he is, right there. So now he's turning around, looking more north. And I'm keeping an eye on Bowling Green and places out to the east or west. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Oh gosh. He's trying to get a good camera shot here. I think we see a pretty big structure that's been hit. Stand by. I think he's setting up another camera. That's why his wipers are not on. He's trying to set up another camera to get a better view. By the way, a new tornado warning now. This is for southwestern Metcalfe County until 6 p.m. Radar indicated rotation. This is going to be near Beaumont, Wisdom, Echo, Curtis, Good Luck, Cedar Flat, Summershade. That's taking in Highway 90. Summershade, Randolph, New Liberty, and Willow Shade. Okay. Oh, no. I don't know if that's a house or a barn. Y'all, wow. That looks like a house. And it's on Pleasant Valley Church Road, 1243. If you know where that is, it's right there, almost to the fork of McCandless Canmer Road. Pleasant Valley Church Road and McCandless Canmer Road. It looks like a house that's been hit. Oh my goodness. Or at least there's a barn right there, but it looks like back there, that's either a house. I hope it's an abandoned house. Some of you that live there close by maybe know, but I'm sure he's going to probably check and see if there's anybody there, anybody in there. There it is. I've got it in motion here where you can see. It did. It came right through there. And now that circulation is further south, moving out of, Sulphur Well, Knob Lick, and now headed toward Edmonton. Edmonton, this is the real deal. If you're in Edmonton, seek shelter right now. You have a few minutes. That's it. And even if it was not a tornado, it's doing damage. It's knocking down structures. It's knocking down trees. We don't know for sure if it's a tornado. It doesn't matter. Wind is wind. It's going to do damage. So if you're in Edmonton, anywhere close to Edmonton, seek shelter immediately. Lowest level in your home, centermost room, closet or bathroom. Please. That circulation is coming your direction. Coming down 1243, 543, it's going to cross over, and then eventually 6880 where they split in Edmonton. And of course, the Cumberland Parkway goes right past there. So now it looks like Edgar is headed, looks like he's headed north behind the storm, behind the worst of the storm, or what could be the tornado. There's a few trees and limbs laying in the road. Oh, check that out. Now, when you see that, snap trees, that's usually a tornado that does that. Not just if the trees were laying down in one direction, they were all laying down in one direction, that would be a gust front, a straight line wind knocking that down. But when you see trees that are just kind of snapped here and there, most likely that's a tornado that did that. All right, looks like there's some more damage coming up here. Wow, I'm going to have to get a hold of Edgar and just thank him for his coverage. Okay, so now we're looking at a barn that's got some damage, not a lot. Looks like it's affected the roof. Now, he is looking west, and when you look west, you can see the back end of this entire storm, and the sun may even come out here shortly behind it. Okay, there's a tree down on what looks like a house there. Shelby, is this coming towards Wisdom? Yes. If you're in Wisdom, Echo, on down to Edmonton, shelter now. Don't wait. Kim, the sun is coming out in Horse Cave now. Yeah, that's the back end of the storm. Sun's going to come out. Debbie's watching from Freedom. Freedom's in line. Yeah. Edmonton. It's your turn. It's your turn. Let me adjust this map. So he's way up here west of the storm, but the storm is now about to close in on Edmonton. I'll put this in motion. Now I think he's going to start to head back this direction, but he's going to have to find a way to do that without being right in the middle of the circulation. Because as you can see, those trees right there on the right, snapped. Straight line wind most likely is not going to do that. That's going to be a circulation that's done that. get this updated here. All right, there we go. Wow. I just can't believe how this thing is holding together. And it's still rather large. So you're looking southeast on the back side of what is likely the tornado. And he is back on Pleasant Valley Church Road. On 1243, he's just past Radcliffe Mitchell Road. And now he's going north up 1243. But the storm has passed that area. It has just passed Sulphur Well, Knoblick Road, which is Highway 70. Down, now that circulation is right over 1243 Anderson Perkins Road and Bill Pettigo Road, and right now at the intersection of 543 and 1243. But it's still on course to come toward Edmonton, close to Edmonton, if not clip the north part of Edmonton as you go out to the Parkway and the split of 6880 and that the newer Edmonton exit. It's headed that direction. And maybe even the industrial park. It's up that direction. You go up 68 after it splits off of 80 in Edmonton, you've got the industrial park that's on the right. And then you see the newest, it's still, I call it the new exit in Edmonton, even though it's been there for a couple of years. Right in there, Cumberland Parkway, Greensburg Road, that's 68. And then 1243, which he was on, the Knoblick Road, right in there, it curves around and connects, and there's a gas station right there. It's coming that direction. It's coming that way. If you live anywhere on 68 north of Edmonton, 543, 544, 1243, that's where the potential or apparent tornado is ongoing, wrapped in rain, but also containing a lot of wind. Looks like we got a new update. Let me check real quick. Tornado warning remains in effect until 6 for southeastern Metcalfe and southwestern Adair. At 5:41, the time now is 5:42, so a minute ago, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Edmonton, moving southeast at 30. So if you're in Edmonton, Nell, Cofer, Clark's Corner, Cork, Breeding, Toria, Gascon, and Beachville, you're in the path of this possible tornado. And Edgar has lost signal for a moment. He has gone back up here to Highway 70 and then on some back road. He may not know where he is at the moment. He is on Thurman Sexton Road as it connects and will connect with Bill Pointer Road. And all that connects to Highway 70. So he's lost the signal for a moment, and once he gets on some of those back roads, that's understandable, but he'll pick his signal up back here in a moment. Let me show you for a moment. I'm going to switch sources. Let me show you the big picture at the moment. Glasgow, nothing severe. Heavy rain, lots of lightning. all the way up to Mammoth Cave Park. Bowling Green, south part of town, there's that severe thunderstorm warning for another 16 minutes. So that's going to go till 6 p.m. Severe thunderstorm warning, not a tornado warning. And then we have other clusters going on up here. Now, this is a flash flood warning that is out for parts of Grayson, Hardin, and Breckenridge counties for the next hour or two for heavy rain. But now most of the rain is over. Most of your heavy rain is now over, and you just got a lot laying around. Be careful out driving. Now, south of Hartford and Rosine to north to Morgantown over to Brownsville, heavy rain going on, occasional rumbles of thunder. Here we go over toward Greenville, Central City, and Muhlenberg County. You're still getting some very heavy rain at the moment, but no warnings. Same goes back toward Dawson Springs as you get over maybe toward Eddyville and Princeton, the land between the lakes. Not a lot going on there. So now the atmosphere is getting really, really worked over because some of this energy is being sucked away from the storms that are the strongest, like the one that is now with the tornado warnings right there, Edmonton. I'm incredulous. That's the best word I can come up with. I know that's a $5 word, but I am just, to see this one cell that is or was, maybe still is, an actual tornado that's still there, possibly, and we've seen evidence of damage, and it's headed toward Edmonton. Look at all that circulation right there. Wow. My goodness. That's just astounding. It really is. This did not look like earlier that this kind of thing would have happened, but you never know. And I said it today. I said it earlier on TV. 2% risk of a tornado does not mean zero. 5% of a risk of a tornado does not mean zero. It means that there's that 2 to 5% risk, and there could be a tornado. But to see one of this, not magnitude, but to see it like this, and what I'm seeing on radar is just wow. That's all I can say. It is. It's just really astounding. Okay, it looks like, let me go back to Edgar, if he's there. It looks like, no, he looks like he's lost his signal, and he's going a different direction. He's going away from these storms. So I don't know where Edgar is, but now that I've got his information, I will get a hold of Edgar and tell him how much of a help he has been through this. Really, really, real big help. We could actually, this is the thing that really makes me want to have cameras everywhere. Is in this kind of situation, some people need to see that it's actually doing something before they will activate or go to a shelter. That's a big, big problem. We have people that wait until they see damage. Oh, okay, now I see damage on that road next to me. I guess I better go to the shelter. That's not smart. When the warning goes up, you need to be in shelter. Because in this particular situation, this could be a big rain-wrapped tornado, and it's still rather strong. I mean, as you've seen, you saw a witness, if you've been watching, it did some damage, maybe even to some homes. Let's hope not. Let's hope people were not in those homes. We'll get a report soon. I know we will. Somebody's out there that's going to watch this, or they're out there monitoring everything, and they're going to figure out what's going on with it. But look, this circulation, potential rain-wrapped tornado is now, for your vantage point, here's Edmonton. This is the first exit, 68 and the Parkway, where the old toll booth used to be. That's that exit right there. And then you come on in to Edmonton. This is the newest exit on 68. So it's looks like it's right in between the first exit in Edmonton and the next exit, the newer one. And I just saw an update on the tornado warning. Let's check it. All right. There we are. The tornado warning for southwestern Adair is canceled. Okay, that's good news. The tornado warning remains in effect until 6 p.m. for southeastern Metcalfe County. At 5:50, 1 minute ago, the Weather Service says a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located right over Edmonton, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. It's just barely moving, really. A tornado possible, and ping pong ball-sized hail. I said it earlier. Up to 2-inch diameter hail is possible. I said golf ball or ping pong ball-sized hail, and that's what we have. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying this is verification. It's confirmation. Tree damage is likely. Flying debris is possible. Edmonton, Gascon, and Cofer are right now in line with this possible tornado as it's moving in between, and it may be a little more south of it now. It may be right over Edmonton. It looked like a moment ago is right in between the old Edmonton exit and the new one. That's the best way I can put it. Along Cumberland Parkway. So now, Edmonton proper, the city of, possibly being hit with a tornado. Wrapped in rain. You're not going to be able to see it. Praying for anybody that's in Edmonton if this thing is actually happening. I mean, that circulation is just astounding. To see it this way on radar, it looks like it may be getting a little broader. I hope that's the case. If we can get this rotation to be a more broad, spread out rotation, boy, that would be great. It's when it starts tightening up. It's like a ballerina. You know, when she does a spin, she has her arms out, and then the spin starts, when she brings her arms in, then the spin starts getting faster. Same thing with a tornado. Same thing. Yeah, my phone. I'm sorry. My phone is blowing up over here, and I can't. It's hard to pay attention to that and this. Let me just take a moment here and thank you all for being here. My my thought process today was, if I see to the northwest of us tornado warnings coming out one by one, if it did, then I was prepared to go right back to the TV station. But this, when this formed, it totally threw everything off. And I mean, this has been an incredibly wild storm and tornado. I'm hearing thunder now outside my window here at the airport in Bowling Green. But this, just from the observation standpoint and just the way it's behaved, it's just, it really is mind-blowing for me. It's been a while since I've seen something like this come through here. And I just hope and I pray that there's not, in Edmonton, there's not a lot of damage going on. I'm praying that if there is damage from any winds that are blowing around that circulation, that it's just, it does some maybe minor damage. But I just hope that everybody's okay in Edmonton. Now, if it's safe and you guys are around Edmonton, if you can give me some idea, I would appreciate that. I think I'm going to have to ask my wife to bring me something to drink because I'm getting the cotton mouth and it's from talking and whew. Let's see here. So let me put this into motion. Let's see how it's progressing here. Wow. It really is something. Yeah, I know there's some of you is like, well, am I next in line? Look, I'm really, really trying to accommodate you. There's just a whole lot of information going on right now, and I'm trying to collect it as best I can. So thank you, for your patience. I'm scanning some of your comments from Facebook and YouTube to see if anybody in Edmonton can tell me what's going on there. When it's safe, of course. I don't want you to do it if it's not safe. Wait till the trouble passes. Here's Kristen. I'm in Edmonton city limits. I'm in a storm shelter. I can't see what's going on outside, but I can hear it if it sounds really bad. Okay. Thank you, Kristen. Stay safe. Do not come out. Do not come out until you know the storm is past you, please. Peggy, hailing bad here that's Highway 80. We're in the cellar. Good for you, Peggy. Thank you. Watching on your device, I'm sure. Here is Roxanne. Thank you, honey. Thank you. My wife, Sheila, everybody. Hang on a second. There she is. Thank you. She is Yeah,
Can't see.
it's
There you
there's the camera right there. So she brought me a Coke Zero, and I smell the meatloaf, and I'm hungry, but I'm gonna wait. Thank you. Um, so Sheila she just had neck surgery. Some of you know that, and she's recovering from that, but she's doing well. Okay, back to Roxanne. I'm in. I think she means Edmonton on Stockton Street. That's the main street, 68. Me and my little boys in the bathroom, in the bathtub, and we still have our electricity at the moment. Oops, now our electric went out, but just came back on. Roxanne, thank you. Stay there. Stay there. Do not get out. Don't. Just wait. Wait until you know it's out of the way. Please. We don't know. There's a lot of unknowns here. Ann, Ricky, thunder is almost constant toward Edmonton. I'm in Summershade. Okay, thank you. So my smoke alarm is going off, and I would say it's probably because of the meatloaf. Or Sheila's put something in the oven, and it's she came in here to help me, and she forgot about it. Oh, gosh. Wow. You okay? All right. All right. She just checked in. Everything's good. Here is Muscle Carmich 908. Electricity is out on the east side of Edmonton. Thank you for that report. Charity, electricity is out. Okay, east side. Okay, that's okay. That one came in over the top of that comment. So I'm trying to. And I wish I had my new glasses because I'm having trouble seeing. I have to do this. I'm getting new glasses later this week, but right now I can't see a darn thing. Rusty and Sherry, I'm 8 miles east of Edmonton. We've lost power so far, just heavy rain, thunder, and lightning. I hear hail now hitting my door. That report 1 minute ago from Rusty and Sherry Brown. Thank you. Thank you. Charity, no lights on Karen Drive in Edmonton. Wind is dangerously hard, I guess, or fast. Yeah. Electricity out in Edmonton. Yes, Hart County's in the clear. It's all Metcalf right now. I'm just seeing. Power out in Edmonton, out at 80, Highway 80. 1 mile from the square, raining hard, and it's windy from Mitch and Jeanette Perkins 2 minutes ago. They made that report. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. Now, see, this is why I've said several times before that I cannot be Ryan Hall, y'all. He's got quite a setup. I do not have that. I'm just going with what I have. All right. Let's get back to this and let me get a much wider view and see what else is going on. So at the moment, this is good news. At the moment, the only tornado warning that's going on is the one in Metcalf County. And now the new warning takes in parts of Monroe and Cumberland. Kind of goes down all the way to Tompkinsville. For that cell, let me put it in motion. There it is. So Maribone, Summershade, Burkesville, Tompkinsville. It's kind of coming your direction, kind of turning southeast a little more. Notice it has started to, it is going east, a little south, and now it's going more southeast. The potential tornado. There it is. Look at all the lightning. The lightning is just incredible. Thousands of lightning strikes, and they're rapid fire. I mean, pow, 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 one after the other. No wonder power is out in some places. The wind and the lightning. Let me see if I can get an update. Switch over. Give me a moment. Okay, this is from the other source. There's that new tornado warning. And this takes in northeastern Monroe, northwestern Cumberland, and southern Metcalfe until 6:45. So another 40 minutes from now. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Edmonton, moving southeast at 25. It is slowing down. Slowing down. That's actually good news. Tornado possible and quarter-size hail. Radar indicated rotation. This is going to be affecting, communities Waterview, Meshack, Cofer, Persimmon, Curtis, Cyclone, Ellington, Goodluck, Willowshade, and Grider. So those are the communities, the towns in line with this. As you can see, it's going more southeast. There's Summershade. Here's Glasgow, Summershade, Marrowbone, and then north of Burkesville. This would be Highway 90. Right there. It goes through those locations. So if you live along Highway 90, anywhere from Summershade to just north of Burkesville, 90, you have to get on 163, right? Or 61. See, I'm starting to get my my roads now. Everything's starting to jumble a little bit, but still, look at that. But if you live anywhere along Highway 90, from Summershade to north of Burkesville, don't assume this is not a tornado. It could be wrapped in a lot of rain, and you're not going to be able to see it. Please. Okay, so this one has the better roads, so I like this one. Let me stop motion. Get it on the latest image, Doppler radar, velocity scan. That's what you're looking at. Inbound, outbound, couplet, big couplet. It's a little broader than it was before. Now it's south of Edmonton. But as you guys have told me, there's power outages in Edmonton. Don't know that there's any damage, but okay, that's a mesoscale discussion. But so now this big circulation is 163 south of Edmonton. Now that meets up with 90. 163 does, and then you take 163 and you can go to Tompkinsville. Yep, right there. So Tompkinsville, nothing yet. Okay. Is it going to come your way? It looks like it may miss. Let me go back. We do the run. It looks like it's going to miss Tompkinsville, but it's going to hit Marrowbone and probably Burkesville. Back it up a little bit and push it forward. You can see the motion. where it's going. And that's why the box is drawn as it is. So along Highway 90, as I mentioned, 496 in the path, Marrowbone definitely in the path. Highway 90, Highway 496, Leatherwood Road, Ferris Creek Road, Shaw Creek Road, Green Valley Road, which is 496. Let's see, go on up. Gosh, Glenshaw Road, W. Curtis Road. Okay, I'm just trying to get some roads in here that you would know. 496, there you go. Jesse Shaw Road, Cedar Flat Curtis Road, Reese Hurt Road, Delk Branch Road off of 496. You're right in line with at least some wind damage potential. Maybe not a tornado, but wind damage potential for sure. And it's going right toward Marrowbone. And there's Highway 90 going all the way across. All right, let me check some more messages here. Becky Ruth, funnel cloud in Beaumont. Okay, thank you. It's given the atmosphere. Take a drink here. Given the atmosphere and the conditions that we have this afternoon, funnel clouds. That's as long as it doesn't become a tornado, funnel clouds are harmless. So you can look up, you can see them. As long as they're not touching the ground, that's a win. Oh, goodness gracious, that's good. I have to have my Coke Zero after a little bit of talking. 8 minutes ago, Neely Hodges? I have a photo from Randolph looking towards Edmonton, but not sure how to send it to you. Send it to my News 40 email. My News 40 email is chris.allen@wnky.com. So chris.allen@wnky.com. And I'll get it. And I'll look for it. Thank you. Pat, 9 minutes ago, heavy rain, constant thunder, and lightning power is out here at Price's Creek area. Okay. Thank you for that. Jessica, I live in Edmonton city limits. We have debris and no electric and hail. Okay. Thank you for that report. Jackie, 9 minutes ago, sirens going off in Marrowbone. That's good because that's headed right for you. Carol, Monroe County 911 dispatch tornado warning. Yes, there is a tornado warning for part of Monroe County. Let's see here. Shelby, lost power in Wisdom. Okay, that's on 31E. That's north of Glasgow. That's probably from the storm when it passed by there. Okay, when I get silent, I'm just reading here to see something that's going to be of interest or interest to you guys. Gosh, I don't know. Lindsay sent you videos about 531 in Wisdom, Metcalfe County via Facebook Messenger. I'll look. Currently just rain and some wind. In Wisdom, electricity flickering but holding so far. Thank you, Lindsay. Wisdom, home of the headhunters. Yeah. Amy, 10 minutes ago, power flickering in the city limits of Tompkinsville. 9 minutes ago, Katie says lights keep flickering on and off in Glasgow, close to the Cumberland Parkway. Okay. Charity, no power west 80, Columbia. Okay, so Columbia is now getting some power outages. Cheryl, power out in Flatwoods, that's in Adair County, 9 minutes ago. Hilda, power out on 206, Kentucky 206 in Adair County, 206. You go up 55 north, 206, you go by Lindsey Wilson College, out that way, that's where she's talking about. Charity, 10 minutes ago, calming down now here in Edmonton. Good. Okay. I hope I don't miss. I'm trying to look for all of these latecomers here who are just, some of you are, rapid fire. I'm trying to keep up with it. Maribone, you're still in line with that big storm. Hold on. Montana, 1 minute ago, lights flickering on and off in Willow Shade. That's along 90. Karen, Whitlow, lots of water across roads 2 miles east of Edmonton. So there's a lot of water, flooding, most likely going on in some of those with a heavy rain. Randy says it got extremely rough here on Cave Springs Road for about 5 minutes. Marvin says they lost power in Horse Cave. All right. Randy, another Randy, I think, different. Tree limbs big as 4 inches round, blown 50 feet from the tree base, has passed Cedar Flat Road on 163 4 minutes ago. Thank you, Randy. Now, see, that's the kind of report I want to get. That helps me determine the path of this and if it's, what we're dealing with here. We may not be dealing with a tornado, but we may. With that kind of circulation that you see right there on the velocity scan on the radar, it's just not good. Roxanne, Edmonton Manor Apartment still has no electricity, but we do have some trees down and it's just barely raining here now. Yeah, it's past Edmonton now. Sheila, 8 seconds ago, sirens going off in Fountain Run, thunder, lightning, sprinkling rain. Well, the sirens are going off because of the tornado warning that takes in that part where Barron meets Monroe and Metcalfe counties. That's why. Lynn, 29 seconds ago, thunder and rain on Dover Church Road, Etoile. That's in Barron County. Okay, here's a report. Christopher Logsdon, 2 barns and a silo flattened on Broadford Road in Hart County. 42 seconds ago. Thank you, Christopher, for that update. Okay, back to radar. There's our big circulation. Potential tornado. Back it up here so you can see. It came through Edmonton, crossed over 68, Cumberland Parkway as well. And now it is on the path to Maribone. In fact, in Maribone right now, you're probably getting just the beginning of this. And right along Highway 90, look at the hundreds and hundreds of lightning strikes with this. That's also a sign sometimes when there's a tornado, the lightning will cluster because of the energy around the circulation. The lightning will cluster if around a tornado, if it's a tornado. It doesn't mean there is one, but the Weather Service is convinced that there's still something there, and you're seeing it. You're seeing it. Yeah. Right along 496 as it goes into Maribon. Now, 496 goes all the way back into Edmonton, but then it goes south to Maribon, and that's where you can hook up with 90. Now, anybody watching from Burkesville? You're not going to like what I'm going to tell you. It looks like that this circulation is going to go right west of you. But considering the size of this thing, whether it's a tornado or not, just the mere size of this thing, and you saw the rain, how hard it is, the lightning, the wind damage, verified, it still looks like Burkesville is going to be next in line to get hit with this. And along 61, even as you go over toward Adair County, and then 90 as it goes on out to the east, and then 61 even as it goes south of Burkesville. And then you would be getting into, down toward what? Is it Nifley? Down that way? Anyway, I may be wrong on that one. All right. We're going to keep an eye on this a little bit further. Let's go back. I want to go back to the other radar source so we can do a big update on everything that's going on. All right. So at the moment, that cell over there, Monroe County, Metcalfe County, this is the only tornado warning that's out. The only one. We do have a number of severe thunderstorm warnings. This is for parts of Barron County, including Glasgow, for that cell right there, moving east. And then you've got another severe thunderstorm warning right there for the next 23 minutes. That's for southern Warren County and parts of Allen County, including Scottsville. So you can see a lot of lightning going on there from Pope down to Petroleum to Alonzo. Yeah, big time rain, thunder, lightning, gusty wind. Then it goes on across the border into Tennessee. But these are severe thunderstorm warnings, not tornado warnings. Franklin, you're getting a thunderstorm just south of town. Bowling Green, all of us here, and I'm hearing the thunder outside my window here at 6:23 p.m. as you're watching live. A few lightning strikes, but some occasionally heavy rain. This is now going to turn into more of a heavy rain situation. There is one other severe thunderstorm warning. Looks like it takes in southern Hopkins and parts of Christian County for the next 21 minutes. So that would be 6:45. But no, there are no other tornado warnings in effect. I'll run the motion here so you can see how all of this is moving in your direction. Maybe, maybe not. I will tell you this, just looking at this, doing some radar observation here. If you live north of this line, you're pretty much done. You're pretty much done with the nasty weather. It's all south of you. So if you're in E-Town, Campbellsville, Munfordville, Litchfield, Brownsville, Morgantown, even Beaver Dam, Hartford, Central City, Greenville, you're done. Because everything north of that line right there is out of the woods. Everything is south of you. And this is all moving through quicker than anticipated as well. Sometimes the models don't do a good job of showing us where these things are going to go. But there you see. Just a couple of warnings left. Severe thunderstorm. And just this one tornado warning headed toward Burkesville, embedded in rain. That's the weird thing that just blows my mind is how it's been that way. Back to the Marrowbone situation. It's still looking pretty healthy, although now it is really, look how broad this thing is. I mean, the circulation it's not very tight. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. If we can keep that circulation broad and it doesn't try to tighten up again, that's a new image, just came down. Still looking kind of broad. I don't see it tightening up. As long as we don't see it tightening up, then there's less chance of it being a tornado. Right now, it's just a broad rotation. And that's why the tornado warning is on it. But now, if I were to see, for instance, if we had this really bright green right here, and then we had a really dark green right next to it, right over Marrowbone, right there, and you didn't see all this other green and red around it, then I would say that's most likely a tornado. But then we are also, as I've described before, we're kind of a distance from the radar. Radar beams go up like this, and then the curvature of the earth, the further you get away from where the radar is, means that that beam is going to overshoot what's actually happening on the ground. So this image may be skewed for that reason. And it may be seeing rotation that's broad up above what's actually happening on the ground. That's my only concern, and that's evidently the concern that the Weather Service has because they still have the warning on this. But it's encouraging to see that this rotation is not as tight as what it once was. And you guys that have been with me for the last hour and a half or so know what I'm talking about. You saw it yourself. I'm just checking in with the Weather Service. I have a chat room where I can talk to them and they can talk to me. The Plano Fire Department here in Bowling Green, outside of Bowling Green, outbuildings and numerous trees are down in the Plano area. Okay. There's another damage report. Thunder. Hearing the thunder here. Okay, I'm seeing some pictures. Okay, I'm going to show you some pictures here of some damage. If you guys are okay with that. Let me check. Let me check your messages real quick. Kim, my daughter lives in Edmonton Manor. They have trees down. Thank you, Kim. That's 1 minute ago. She made that post. Okay. Trees down in Lone Star. I think that's Metcalfe County, right? Or is that Barron? Sue, 4 minutes ago, sirens going off in Burkesville. Rightly so. You can see that's headed for Burkesville. Ooh, this is a new image and I don't like it. Hold on. I'm going to show you something. Now, look at this. Bright green. And now I'm seeing a bright red right there. This is a tightening. God, I hate to say it. That's a tightening circulation. This particular storm has ramped up and then it comes back down. Then it ramps up again and comes back down. Just when I thought it was maybe had spent most of its energy, it's still trying to rebound as it moves toward Burkesville. So I'm getting, my phone is, I can't talk to you. Sorry. If you guys that are my friends and you're trying to get a hold of me, I'm sorry. Okay. So this is my friend Danny Wilson, who lives in Glasgow. He says the sirens are going off in Glasgow. Wait a minute. No, that's old. Sorry. That was from earlier. I'm just now seeing it though. I just saw the time, 4:55. It's 6:32. Sorry. But this I'm concerned about. That is a possibly strengthening, tightening rotation as it heads for Burkesville. It's going right down Highway 90 between Marrowbone and Burkesville. We'll watch it. Now, for those of you who are not used to this, I do this every night. I do a podcast, 270 Weather's what it's called, and I usually do it around this time, 6:30, 7 o'clock, every night. So you can tune in every night, even when the weather's good, and I do this, but tracking this has just been crazy. Just been crazy. Karen, 10 minutes ago, Pope Trammell Road, lightning is bad, struck something. Yep. Okay. Jennifer, 11 minutes ago, Tompkinsville looks muddy and nasty. Sirens are howling. T-Ville. Okay. Thank you. We're getting a lot of lightning here in Bowling Green, too, at the moment. So this is not like television. I've been going for 2 hours and 35 minutes. The TV, and I'm not able to. I haven't had a chance to tune over to Scott and Micah at News 40, and I'm hoping everything's fine there. Anybody that's doing weather right now is covering this. Mitchell Wood, sirens are going off in Gamale as well. Thank you. That's in southern Monroe County. Some of you are checking on each other. That's fantastic. Thank you. That's what we should do. That's what we should do. All of you. Okay, now you just saw that. Okay. There's this is also a good sign. Let me show you. A good sign. We need a good sign, right? We do. Yes. Instead of continuing a tornado warning, the Weather Service has now put out a severe thunderstorm warning. But it has a tornado possible tag, which means you still could have a tornado. This is new. Severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Clinton, Cumberland County until 7:15. Severe thunderstorm near Burkesville, moving southeast at 20, 60 mile per hour wind gust and quarter size hail possible. Some locations that will be in that warning area: Albany, or Albany for those of you who are not local. We say it Albany, but some say Albany. Burkesville, Leslie, Littrell, Motor, Huntersville, Ellington, Grider, Decide, and Hobart. All of you are in the path of that severe thunderstorm, but as we've been looking here, it's also maybe a possible tornado. But look, it has weakened. Look at the green. Look at the green. The bright green fades away. Look at that. And even some of the bright red. Oh, no. Okay. This is not a new warning. This is a continuation of the tornado warning. Yes, 6:45. So it's going to be over, the tornado warning, in just a few minutes. The warning has been canceled for northeastern Monroe and southeastern Metcalfe, but it remains in effect until 6:45 for central Cumberland County, including the city of Burkesville. So that's what they're doing. So this yellow box polygon means a severe thunderstorm warning is going to take over for the rest of this tornado warning as it expires here in a few minutes. Now, here's another chaser that's out. Tornado Pagey. Pagey? I don't know who she is. Let's check in. She is headed toward Burkesville. So, looks like she's going up Highway 90 toward Burkesville. She probably saw that tornado warning and thought, well, let's go to Burkesville and we can probably try to see something, but I doubt she's going to see something because that circulation is, number one, wrapped in rain, as you can see. Number two, it's probably not going to be tornado warned here in a few minutes. 6:45. It is raining hard here at the airport in Bowling Green. I mean, hard. Now, it sounds a little louder. You may even be able to pick it up on the mic. It sounds a little harder here because I have a tin roof. So, and I kind of like it when it's not storming, or I mean, when it's not severe, that rain hits that tin roof. Oh, coma. I mean, it's just so soothing to hear that. But I don't like it when it's severe because I don't want it to be that. So she's almost Tornado Pagey. That's a unique name, handle, I guess. She is almost in Burkesville. I know where she is exactly. Going up 90. Checking some of my. Okay, I'm getting a report from my friend Emery, who is with emergency management in Hart County. Rowletts. Remember Rowletts? Those of you that were with me about an hour and a half or so ago in Hart County, when we saw that same circulation right there in the Rowletts community. He says Rowletts is a mess. Trees down in the road, power lines down, and trees across railroad tracks. You know, the railroad tracks run parallel there with 31W in Rowletts. And he says he's headed to Munfordville to check for damage there. Thank you, Emery. So apparently around Munfordville and the Rowletts community, there's I don't know how considerable the damage is, but there's damage. Okay, she's almost in Burkesville, but this thing is still a little bit there, but not as bad as it was. But we're further away from the radar. That's the only thing that concerns me, is that we're far enough away from the radar that we may not be seeing everything we need to see to know if there's a tornado there. Yeah, it's right over Burkesville. If there's something there, and you can see as she's looking west on Highway 90 going into Burkesville, you can see the clouds. That's pretty ominous looking right there. You're looking at it live. 6:42 p.m. Signal goes in and out. Obviously, you know, hit a certain tower, and then it goes to the next tower, and she tries to get a signal in here for that. Let's just watch this for a minute. This has my curiosity peaked. We may catch another circulation going on here, like we did in Hart County. For those of you that missed it, we had another chaser, and it was right there at Rowletts in Munfordville. We saw what looked like a tornado. There's some lightning. So she's coming in now just about the city limits of Burkesville. This is Storm Chaser. She goes by Tornado Pagey. I don't know who she is, but she's out there doing some good work. She knows how to stay safe. She knows where she's going. So yeah, now we're just now coming into Burkesville. She should be crossing the river. There's around this curve, the Don Franklin dealership. Okay, she's pulling off. There's a church right there. The blue top. I can't remember the name of the church, but that's where she's looking, and she's I think she's interested in looking back there. Yeah, that's more scud looking clouds than tornado. I think she saw that and thought, well, I need to look at that to see if maybe that's where a tornado is. So again, I know these roads. I've been on them 100 times. Me and Danny Wilson in Glasgow, we go on these roads, Highway 90, the back roads, all the time. We love doing it. But that's how I know where everything is. She is right now just about to the Don Franklin dealership, and then past that would be the river, Cumberland River. But look at that rain. Look at these sheets of rain going on here. And the rain is going sideways. See that? It's not coming straight down. It's going sideways. It's being wind driven. Look at the trees back there. I mean, if there is something going on, she's right there at it. Now she's going back the other way, but look at the sheets of rain. Wow. Sideways rain going on there. That's also a sign. To the left of where she is there's a church that sits back there. I don't know the name of it, but it's got a blue roof on it. And then you come up here. There's a little old, and I love this. There's a little old gas station. Oh. We're seeing, okay, look at this. We're seeing some debris maybe coming off the trees. She is in the middle of this circulation, right? There's the old gas station on the left. This is Highway 90, and she's going east. Look at that. Look at the trees. Oh, man. If there's a tornado in this, she is right there at it. Look at the debris that's flying around. Not big. Tree debris, probably. Leaves, things like that. Look at it. Crossing the road there. If there's a tornado, it's there. It's right there. You're watching live. Burkesville, outside of the city limits to the east. That circulation you can see to the left of her video, her live video. Still a possible tornado there. And look at this. Look at that. That's probably a rain shaft. It doesn't look like a tornado. It looks like a rain shaft. Heavy rain, scud, we call it. I'm very careful not to overstate any of this. I'm just going piece by piece here. If this were a tornado, you would be seeing a lot more debris going on, but she is running into some incredibly heavy rain and enough wind to start knocking leaves off the trees. So she's kind of getting away from it now, and that's probably good because she doesn't want to be. I think she was close. I think she was close to the center of that circulation. Now that looks ominous, but that's not a tornado. That's scud. We call it scud. This is, oh, look at that. She hit a big old puddle of water in the roadways, and she has to be careful because she can hydroplane with all that standing water on the roadway. She's going east on Highway 90. She's now out of Burkesville and going east. And what she's looking at potentially, and I think there was the turnoff to go to Trooper Island. She just passed that. I believe that's right. I could be wrong. So that she's trying to see if any of this is circulating. And she may just be like, no, I there was enough going on back there toward Burkesville. I'm getting out of here. That's maybe what she's doing. And she's turned the camera to where she might be seeing something over there. That's Scud. That's Scud that he's pointing at. And that's just some of the, like some of the steam, but it rises up into the storm. And sometimes you can almost see it circulating around. And some of that is Scud too. It's not necessarily the tornado circulation. But now the tornado warning is over. It's been lifted. So now it's just a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Cumberland County and Clinton County now. And this is headed toward Albany. Let me see. I'm going to check some more reports here from you guys and the Weather Service. Monroe, I think you're pretty much in the clear except for just some thunderstorms on north of you, but you're not under any kind of a warning. There are now no tornado warnings. Yeah, Brianna, she saw that. She's about to pass where you turn to go down 449. Yep. She's going toward Albany. Oh, that church. Thank you, Jackie Bryant. Living Word Assembly of God. Thank you. I just could not remember the name of it. Okay, Reagan Shirley. Sharon Neesmith. All right, Reagan is replying to Sharon saying, not sure, but very possible roads are impassable. Could you let me know where the roads are impassable so I can pass that on? That would be fantastic. Okay. Let's see. I'm checking. Looks like she's maybe losing signal. I don't know what that is. Friends of hers, I guess she's looking at. Cave City, you're in the clear. There's still a few storms out there and rain and lightning and thunder, but nothing severe. Nothing severe like tornado warnings or anything like that. Okay. Which is good. So that circulation, I mean, there's still a little something there south of Burkesville, but it looks like it's falling apart. She's still going down 90 east. Well, looks like it just, that ramped up again right there. She's going down 90 east toward, where it connects with 127. So I think she's leaving. I think that maybe that's, she got a little too close and she decided to back off. Okay. I'm going to leave Tornado Pagey. I've got 2 people to contact now and thank them for their live video coverage. And I will. I will. Thank you. Okay, now let's look at this. This concerns me. There's no warning here, but check that out. Right here. Okay, this is in between. This is north of Tompkinsville. Here's 163, and here's 63. And you know, they all meet up down around Highway 100. But this is north of Tompkinsville. And this is what I'm talking. Look, I don't want you guys to go, well, look at him. He just thinks he knows everything. Look, I took many, many, many hours of training on radar observation. And I can pick these things. I don't know why, but I can pick these things out before a warning happens. It's just not always, but some things to me on the radar, I've seen enough to know what looks obvious to me. I can pick it out. There's circulation, and now there's a severe thunderstorm warning that's out for Monroe County. But if this right here continues to look like that, we may have another tornado warning. Possibly. Okay, now there's a new scan, and it doesn't look that impressive. But like we've seen tonight already, or this evening, we can see these these big rotating areas fall apart and then ramp back up. That's a possibility. Let's run the loop. That I'm surprised they didn't put out a warning for that one. Look at that. Wow, bright. I mean, that one had, let me stop. Watch it. Watch it come in. This is 636, 639, 641, 644, 647. Look at that right there. That's just a few minutes ago, 10 minutes ago to be exact. 649, 652, which is when I saw it and circled it. And now, current time, 657. It just doesn't look that impressive now. We'll wait for another scan to see what it's going to do. And now look at this over here, east of Burkesville. It's got a lot of inbound, but it doesn't have much outbound together. So this may be finally falling apart, but I don't want to jinx it. I saw it when it looked like it was going to fall apart earlier, and it didn't. It just it ramped up again. Scottsville, you're just getting a lot of heavy rain. I don't see any red flags there. Same for Bowling Green, Auburn, Woodburn, Franklin, Plano. Well, it's all kind of south of Bowling Green now. Auburn, heading over toward Russellville. This is a severe thunderstorm warning until 7:15. So, and that's all. That's it for us. Now some of the warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, are going into Middle Tennessee, Portland, down to Bethpage, White House, Cottontown, Westmoreland, Lafayette. Yeah. Let's go back over here. Tompkinsville. That new scan doesn't look that impressive. This one still wants to do something, but it's not. Let me go up here. Is that Edgar? Yes, it's Edgar. This is the guy. There he is. We talked to, or didn't talk to, but he's the one that caught that. It looked like that tornado up in Rowletts. Yeah, look at this. Okay, sorry, Edgar. He's talking to somebody. From Thomas Roach, 6:26 p.m. Significant damage. Multiple large trees down, uprooted, power lines down, roofs torn off, multiple older residential buildings. That looks like it's just outside of Edmonton. Here's another report south of Edmonton. Wait a minute. Yeah, there it is. Again, from Thomas Roach. Hardwood trees snapped in multiple locations. Bruce bought off of building. I guess it's roofs off of buildings in downtown. That's Edmonton. Okay. I don't have a camera in Edmonton, so I can't see. But there's Edgar. He's talking to somebody probably about the storms that he saw earlier. Burkesville, you're out of the woods. Burkesville, you're out of the woods now. You're good. You're good. Tompkinsville, nothing's ramping back up at the moment, but you're still under a severe thunderstorm warning for a few more minutes. 7:45. It's 7:01 right now. Oh, goodness gracious. My glasses are getting dirty. My throat and mouth is just dry, even as I drink. I need some Gatorade or something like that. I got a pillow back here behind my back because my back has been hurting me, and I got to go see about it and try to get that taken care of. Let me go check some other things here. No more tornado warnings anywhere. Anywhere. Checking with the National Weather Service. Here is hold on. Hold on. All right. I'm going to share with you some pictures that I've just received from the National Weather Service from Grayson County. Look at that. That looks like tornado damage. That's Grayson County. See the power lines down. Roof torn off. I don't know if that's a mobile home or not. Kind of looks that way. This house is fine. But this one's gone. And then, let's see, looks like barn or another house structure in the back. It says here, emergency management in Grayson County, 12 buildings damaged, 3 people removed from structures. Here's another one. Grayson County, near the Litchfield area. Barn structure. Okay. Look at this. This is all Grayson County. When I first came on, there was that warning in Grayson County, and you couldn't see. Remember the camera? I showed you the camera, lightning, 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 and then you couldn't see anything because it was raining so hard. That's when they were getting hit. Goodness gracious. Here's some more. Uprooted trees, roofs. May not have been a tornado, but certainly enough wind to cause this much damage. Wow. Debris. Oh. Imagine this is your house. Goodness gracious. Again, Grayson County Emergency Management providing those photos. They're saying, I'm reading some of the notes that are coming in through the Weather Service. A lot of these homes, they say, are vacation homes. Vacation homes in Grayson County? Maybe near, okay, this may be near the lake up toward, Rough River? Here is another photo. Oh, didn't mean to zoom in that far. Look at all that. And some of these trees are snapped. That's what makes me, and uprooted. Look at that. Uprooted. That's what makes me think that there may have been a tornado. Grayson County. Look at that. Look at that. Snapped. Snapped. These are snapped trees, not bent over in one direction. Snapped. Oh, wow. My goodness. Look at that. I'm sorry for zooming in. Again, this is Grayson County. Pictures just coming in. More damage. Grayson County. It doesn't say exactly where in Grayson County. I'm assuming it's pretty close to Litchfield. Okay, I think that's still some of the ones. Yeah, that's the same barn we were looking at first. Kind of blurry, but that looks like a double wide, maybe. Yeah. Some barns, structures. Again, all of these are Grayson County. Here's in the chat room, the Weather Channel wanting permission to share these. So yeah, they gave us permission, so we're good. Thank you, Grayson County Emergency Management. You guys, I know you're out there working. You're on the scene. Whew. We've got some messes to clean up, y'all. I mean, it's. I hate it. I hate it when, I just hate that. Okay. Back to the stream. Here we go. back to what's going on. And look at this. This has tried to ramp up again right there at Tompkinsville. See that right there? And there's a little something right here, but it's not that impressive. But that one north of Tompkinsville, well, there's a new scan and it doesn't look that great. And again, the problem is Tompkinsville is a long distance away from the Nashville radar. And there's not really a radar close to Tompkinsville that you can get close enough to see what's really going on with, if there's circulation with the velocity, because the beam is overshooting. So this is why sometimes I tell you guys that some of this is not as easy as it looks. There's a science to it. There's some rabbit holes that we have to go down sometimes just to try to get the information and try to figure out what is it doing there. Now we're getting some flood warnings. Yeah, severe thunderstorm, but there's a flash flood warning now for southwestern Allen, northeastern Simpson, southwestern Warren County until 10 o'clock tonight. Heavy rains between 1 and 2.5 inches have fallen, and additional up to 2 inches of rain is possible. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. That includes Bowling Green, Scottsville, Memphis Junction, Woodburn, Drake, Boyce, Trammell, Mount Ariel, Matlock, and Hillsdale. Flash flooding. Right there. There it is, south of Bowling Green, down to Scottsville. And now some flood warnings going up for Middle Tennessee, Portland, Westmoreland, Lafayette, Red Bowling Springs. No more tornado warnings. It's all severe thunderstorm warnings. There's what regular radar looks like right now. As you can see, it's all starting to fade away. Now you see where this red line is? If you're north of that red line, you're okay. You're out of the woods. It's over. Now, look at this. Let me stop motion because now we're getting some storm reports in. Near Munfordville, tornado report. Time estimated by radar 4:56 p.m. Trees fell into a home, though no injuries reported from the damage near the 500 block of Rowlett's Cave Spring Road and the intersection. Part of it got cut off. But again, Rowlett's. Apparent tornado, and you saw it live. If you didn't, you missed it. It was live from a storm chaser. We saw it. Reported a tornado struck and hit the Hart County Animal Shelter. What? Okay. Well, as you know, if you watch News 40 every day on Sunrise and the 9 o'clock show, and even noon, we show pet of the day, and we rotate around the different shelters, and Hart County is one of them. So now we're getting a report that earlier a apparent tornado struck and hit the Hart County animal shelter. We don't know. I don't know of how bad it is, but I'll find out. Ugh, goodness. Yeah, we've seen these. Okay, here's some more. Wind report, Wax community. This is on Nolin Lake. Mobile home was swept off its foundation completely. 4:27 p.m. and we were following. It's that same cell. Crazy, crazy, crazy. What's going on here? Hodgenville. Moderate flooding in Hodgenville. North Rolling Fork River. Floodwater almost, if not covering roads, and half of it spot or stationary. Okay, floods. We're getting flooding reports now, and they have a flash flood warning in that same area. Here's Edgar. Are you okay? He's not on. And he's been there. That's where we saw him a while ago talking to people. He was in Edmonton getting some reports. I'm sure of it. Okay. And here is Tornado Pagey. Is she back? Oh. Whoa. Look at that. Now, okay. All right. She's in Albany. Or Albany, if you prefer. There's something there, but look at that. Look at that. That's not a tornado. And you may be saying, well, Chris, it looks like a tornado. No, this is kind of a shelf cloud out ahead of the rain, and there comes the rain. So it's the cooler air of the rain pushing the wind too, pushing that cloud. The whole thing is rotating. She's underneath a big rotating storm, and you can see on the radar there's a bit of rotation right there in Albany, and she's going down 127, it looks like. But look at that. This is where the rain and the wind pushes the bottom layer of the storm out, and it gives it that almost like a overhang, a roof overhang kind of look to it. Shelf cloud. It's not perfect, but that's what you're looking at. That is not, if you ever see that, lightning, big lightning. If you ever see something like that, it's not a tornado. Not a tornado. Now, could there be a tornado that drops out of that? Well, it's possible. I mean, the whole thing is circulating. Even all that above it, the whole thing very slowly is rotating. Now, I'm hoping she can get a look over here to the right so we can get a look at that, the bottom of it. She is going down into Albany. She is on the new part of 127 that kind of bypasses Albany and hooks up down at the state line with Tennessee Highway 111. And that goes all the way down into Tennessee. Nice highway there. but she's doing the bypass of Albany or Albany. Well, I don't guess she's going to look at that. I'm sure she's looking at it and it's not showing anything that would be of significance, or she would stop and point the camera that way. So thank you again, Tornado Pagey. She's heading south on 127. Okay. There you go. One more check here. Okay. Tompkinsville, you're looking okay. Gamale, you're looking good. Fountain Run. Lots of rain, lots of lightning, but nothing that raises a red flag to me except for the flooding. Now, flooding is going to be a problem. All of this is just indicating a lot of flooding. Look at that. For at least another hour or two here in extreme southern Kentucky. But Bowling Green, now, as you see, and anywhere north of Bowling Green, it's pretty much over for you. And again, north of that red line, notice here, some of the counties up here, like Ohio County, Grayson County, LaRue, Hart, Greene, Taylor, you've been taken out of the severe thunderstorm watch. Anywhere north of that red line, you're good to go. It's over for you. For the rest of the night, it's over. So now all of this is going to move into Middle Tennessee and create some issues there. All right. Okay. Let me just say a quick word here. And thanks to R&R Controls for making all this possible. And of course, News 40. Without News 40, I wouldn't be able to do this. And we'll have a recap in the morning. Our news teams are going out and seeing where the damage is, and they'll be out checking it out. So I didn't get to do a normal podcast tonight. Obviously, it's been just a crazy night. So thank you all. God bless you all. I'm going to end the coverage there. I know there are still some damage reports coming in, and we're going to is north of Lafayette going to be okay? Heavy rain, strong storms, flooding there. Morgan, is there damage? Rowletts in Munfordville? Yes. There may be considerable damage. That coming from Hart County Emergency Management. So we may be looking at, we're going to try to send crews, somebody out to cover that up at Rowletts, Munfordville. Reagan, any concerns for Byrdstown, Tennessee? Just moved to the area. Don't know the weather people there. Byrdstown, you're getting heavy rain, thunderstorms, but the tornado aspect of tonight is now just about over, I would say. Just about over. Okay. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you all. There's still, those of you can still comment, but I'm going to shut down here. Lots of lightning, lots of thunder, lots of heavy rain, maybe damaging wind threat still there, but the tornado threat is now going down. 7:24 p.m. sunset. We're going to lose that. A lot of this energy now has been spent. So Thank you all for watching. God bless you. I'll see you in the morning right there, News 40, 6 a.m., sunrise, 9 a.m., and noon. In the meantime, it's been a night. We're going to check on everybody and everything, including the animals at the Hart County Animal Shelter. I want to know what's going on there. Pray for them, okay? Have a great night. Thank you.